Whether it is chatbots, self-driving cars, or art generators, AI is becoming more prevalent in every aspect of our lives. It's one of those things that you could either try to ignore or utilize to your own advantage, even as a photographer. Today, I'm going to take a look at Luminar Neo by Skylum, who, by the way, is the sponsor of today's video. Luminar Neo is a photo editing software that uses AI-powered tools that makes edits that were once difficult easily done in one click. Skylum sent me over the software to check out, and the simplicity of the user experience has me very excited to show you what the software is capable of. So let's go ahead and just jump on the computer and get right to it. So now we are in Luminar Neo, and today I'm going to be editing 3 photos for you, starting with this one right here. The reason why I chose this photo in particular to edit is that the sky is completely overblown, which is a common mistake for beginner photographers and professional photographers alike. So hopefully the Sky AI tool can make up for that. So the Sky AI tool recognizes where the sky is and allows you to just replace it super easily. And what's cool is that it also recognizes if there's any water in the photo and will replace the sky in the reflection of the water. So this photo doesn't have water in it, but it does have a blown out sky that needs replacing. So I'm gonna see what suggestions it has for this photo. And that was really easy to replace the sky, but I'm not quite fond of the sky that is suggested. So I'm gonna see what other sky options there are. Let's see what this one looks like. Cool, so I like this sky a bit more than the previous one, and I know right now you can tell that the sky was replaced, but now let me show you how easy it is just to adjust the sky to actually fit in better. So I'm gonna increase the brightness of this sky since the photo is overall very bright anyways, and I'm gonna adjust the warmth because it was a very yellow day that day, very sunny and warm, and I want this photo to reflect that. And now I'm gonna adjust the atmospheric haze to try to make the sky a little bit more hazy. And that also lightens it up as well, which I think is good for this shot since it was such a bright photo and that the subjects are so bright as well. You can also change the sky orientation. I kind of like it like that. Not too many adjustments made there, but I do think it looks good. Also, if I wanted to, I have the option to flip the sky, but I like it as is, so I'm gonna leave it without flipping it. And now, I don't know if you noticed, but when I popped in that sky, the entire lighting of the photo changed to accommodate that sky, which is pretty incredible in itself. But let's say I don't really like that lighting, I could always drop the relight strength down to 0. But I do kind of want to relight it a little, so let me put that to around, let's see, this is what it looks like all the way. Not very fond of that, but I think where it was kinda, this looks good. This looks really good. And honestly, this is the before without the sky added, and this is the after, and it made a world of a difference. But I'm gonna see what else I can do with this photo, and next I'm gonna use the Enhance AI feature. And what this does is adjust the contrast and the shadows and highlights of the photo to make it enhanced. And you see, I like what it's doing to the flowers, but not so much what it's doing to the top half of the photo, because I like them being a little bit more hazy and the sky being hazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a mask, a linear gradient mask. So this is it without it, and this is it with it. It looks very subtle, but I think it makes a difference. And that looks pretty freaking incredible with just a few adjustments. I would like to play around with a little bit more like the toning of it. It's very subtle, but I think it makes a difference. So now that I got the toning down a little bit, I want to add a sun. Because you can see right here, I already have a little bit of a sun flare right there, but now that the sky's replaced, I don't have a sun there. So let me just place a sun. I'm gonna put it like right here. And let's see, whoa. I think that looks pretty dang good, but it does look a little too white, and that's okay. I can adjust the sun warmth right here. Ooh, look at that. Boom, I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, I think that looks That looks pretty good. What do you think? I think that's good with that for the edits for this photo. So this is the before, and then this is the after. So with a few clicks, I was able to change the sky, add a freaking sun, and then change the whole color of the photo to be more warm. And I think it makes it look pretty freaking magical. So let's move on to the next photo. Before we move on, I would like to say, if at any moment you feel like, hey, I kind of want to try Luminar Neo for myself, there's a link in the description down below. And because you're watching this video, I do have a coupon code for you, and it is AZ Photography. You can use that for 10% off, either a subscription of Luminar Neo or a lifetime version of Luminar Neo. And that goes for Luminar Neo Pro and Luminar Neo Explorer. So check that out if you'd like. So for this edit, I'm going to use the Relight AI tool. And the Relight AI tool allows you to make adjustments to the brightness of things that are near, things that are far, and you can also adjust the depth of that brightness. So let me just, boom, bump up the brightness of things that are near and see what that does. I think it's maybe a little too much, so I'm going to tone it back a bit. And then if I wanted to, I could also make the stuff behind me darker, but I don't know if I really feel that. That might make it a little bit brighter too, because the overall look of the photo was a little too dark. And then if I wanted to change the depth of it, I don't know if you see the light moving right here, but if I pull it back and then boom, I kind of like it like this. So that is just by messing with the Relight, it already made such a big difference in the photo. Even though it looks better with that Relight AI tool being used, I would like to make things pop a little bit more. So I'm going to use the Structured AI tool, which is essentially clarity. So I'm going to increase the amount of it, and boom, look at that. Look at that. That deleted something. So, okay, I really like how this is looking. And now I'm going to make a few little adjustments to the toning of it. And let me go to my edits. I'm gonna actually tone down the clarity a little bit. And all right, I think that looks pretty freaking good. So that is the before and that is the after for the second photo, mainly using Relight and Structured, and then just messing with the highlights and shadows to kind of color tone it a little bit. And I think it looks freaking beautiful. Maybe I'm biased though, because this is the photo I took, so I don't know. Okay, so this photo is the last photo that I will be editing for you guys today, and it is a portrait. So I'm gonna show you what Luminar Neo has to offer when it comes to AI tools and portraits. So if you go down here, you can see there is a whole portrait little panel, and I'm gonna start off with the portrait bokeh. So if I increase the amount of the bokeh, the AI automatically recognizes where I am and what is the background and blurs out the background. So I see right here that my head kind of has like a little bit of something going on. So what I'm gonna do is actually going to put this part, let's see what happens if I focus it. Yeah, so that got rid of that, and I think it looks pretty freaking good. So this is without me adding any more, and this is with me adding more. So you can see that it got a little bit more blurry, and now I am popping a little bit more. You can always use the brush control to either defocus or focus an area. That's what I just did right there to fix my hair thing. And I could also, with this tool, adjust the brightness and the highlights of the background. So if I wanted to, I can pull the background more bright or change the color tone of the background. But honestly, I feel like for this photo, I kind of like it as it is. I will kind of do some edge corrections though. All right, cool. So that's what I'm gonna do with the portrait bokeh. But now let me get to something kind of fun here. So under the portrait panel, they also have face, skin, and body. So this is pretty crazy. When you use the face AI, you have a couple adjustments you can make right off the bat, whether it's face light, which kind of adds some brightness to your face. So when I slide this over, you can see that my face is getting brighter and brighter. I'm gonna probably put it right about there, just to make, boom, my face will pop a little bit more. But what's crazy about this area is that you can also kind of manipulate the whole look of your face, and you'll see what I mean right here. So first, you could slim down your face. I'm gonna put it all the way just so you can see how dramatic that is. My head looks a little bit like a pinhead, so let's not do that. But you can slim it down a little bit. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of manipulating faces and bodies like this, but I know that this is something people do. And the fact that you're able to just slide something over and make that adjustment without having to make a bunch of selections is pretty freaking cool. And I'm just gonna make a most dramatic version of myself using this section so you can see what this section is capable of. So let me just change my irises to, let's see what blue looks like. Boom, my eyes are now blue. And actually let's see what green looks like. Green, mint. Ooh, I'm kind of liking the mint. I'm digging the mint. And let me just turn the iris visibility all the way freaking up. I think it looks very dramatic, but that's okay. That is okay. And I'm kind of curious about the iris flare. I'm gonna turn the visibility down. It's kind of creeping me out how visible my eyes were. So let's turn that down. And now I'm gonna actually enlarge my eyes because that's also an option we have here. And I'm just gonna enlarge them all the way so you can see the difference. So that's a little too dramatic. So let me just pull it down. Still with the enlarged eyes though. And I can also whiten the eyes so that they're a little bit brighter. And on top of that, I could also enhance the eyes, which seems to kind of add clarity around the eyes themselves so that pop more. I could also do red eye removal if I had red eyes, but I don't. So I'm gonna move down to dark circle removal. In this photo, surprisingly, I didn't have any bags too much under my eyes. So I don't know if that made too much of a difference, but hey, I'm here for it. I feel like that is a tool that I would use in a not so dramatic setting. Because like I said, I don't really use manipulation type stuff, but I would totally use dark circle removal. And I would also probably improve my eyebrows, especially because I wasn't wearing any makeup in this photo. And I usually fill in my eyebrows as it is. So it's not too far from reality for me to improve my eyebrows using AI. So that is just with the eye adjustments, and let's see what that looks like without and with. That's with face adjustments and eye adjustments. But let me move down to the mouth next. I'm gonna saturate my lips a little bit to add a little bit of color into them. And let's actually make them a little bit red and a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna whiten my teeth too. So boom, that is just with the face AI tool. So I kind of changed the entire look of my face, which is pretty crazy. So now let's move over to skin, which honestly, I can see myself using this in just like a normal edit, and that is removing any shine. I don't really have too much shine in this photo in particular, but what I really like about this skin area is that you can adjust the amount of which you want to smooth out your skin. And it smooths out your skin without losing like those texture details. So you can see it's still skin, it's not painted over, but I'm gonna put it like right here, just because I do want something a little more dramatic. All right, cool. And now let's go ahead and move over to the body AI, which is pretty insane what you could do just by sliding stuff over. I can change my entire shape. So let me just, boom, slide that over. Let me do it all the way just so you can see how it looks in its most extreme capabilities. So yeah, it totally just shrunk in. It did have a little bit of issue right here. I think if I was really doing this to a photo, I'd probably just crop that part out. But let me just not do it too much because I don't want to manipulate my shape too much. But let's say if I want to just manipulate my abdomen and not change the entire shape, that's also an option that I could slide this over and boom, my abdomen goes in. And that is pretty crazy what I was able to do with just a few slide-in tools. This is the before and this is the after. Now, like I said earlier, I don't really use too much body manipulation, so I don't see myself really doing this extreme of an edit to my own body. But let me show you what I would do without making so many body and shape manipulations. So I'd probably not change my shape or my abdomen. So I'd probably keep the skin adjustments, as for the face, I would not change my eye. I wouldn't change the size of them or the color of them, but I would probably do everything else. I would probably saturate my lips a little bit, but I wouldn't slim my face. So here's the before, here's the after, with just like adjustments made that aren't manipulating my look overall. To make it pop a little bit more still, I'm going to use high key. So let me just increase the amount right now. So this is before and this is the after, and this is a less dramatic edit of this photo that I would more realistically do. But I think either way, it was so nice to be able to just smooth my skin out super easily and blur the background out super easily as well. So that is it for the edits that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments down below which was your favorite and which AI tool you could see yourself using to expedite your photo editing process. Personally, I was the most impressed by the sky AI tool. The fact that you can just click a button and replace the entire sky was pretty incredible, considering I have used other photo editing softwares to replace the sky before, and it definitely wasn't that easy. So moving forward, I can definitely see myself using Luminar Neo for that tool specifically. And yeah. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and check out the link in the description if you want Luminar Neo for yourself. Until next time, bye.